changes gears very subtly. No big injection of pace. He will sit and try to challenge Rai Benjamin late.
Zakithi Nene of South Africa is there in third. Belgium back and fourth. They're out of the medal hunt now. It's the U.S., Botswana, and Nene making a move for South Africa on the outside. Rai Benjamin, Botswana, South Africa. Botswana wins the world title.
If you're a fan of the mile relay, you got a treat this evening. That was fantastic. The Botswana men knew the challenge. The United States men had only put one into the final. They were dancing before in warm-ups, and they're dancing again. This is lots of history for the country of Botswana. It's their first time ever being world champions in a relay. Their best finish at the Olympics is bronze. But this race lived up to the hype and lived up to the billing.
They lost.
Botswana got it done. So here's the exchange on the anchor. Look, I thought the United States did very well to at least give Rai Benjamin the lead, because in my head, it was possible that Rai would have gotten this baton behind. Nene ran a fabulous anchor leg for South Africa, but the World 400 champion, Paul, had just enough.
And how about this, as we look at the finish again, U.S. has now been installed as the silver medalist as they had.
The Tokyo rain poured, but Botswana's fire never went out. On a soaked track inside Japan's national stadium, the African nation delivered one of the greatest relay upsets in recent history, outkicking both the United States and South Africa in the dying meters to claim gold in 57.76 seconds, their first ever world title in the men's 4x400 meters relay. With the U.S. chasing a 10th gold in 11 editions, and South Africa fielding world record holder Wayde van Niekerk, Botswana stood toe-to-toe with the Giants and refused to blink. The final straight belonged to Colin Kebenachippi, the newly crowned 400 meters world champion, who surged through the middle of Rai Benjamin and Zakithi Nene to steal victory by just 0.07 seconds. This was a race for the ages and Botswana's coronation under the floodlights of Tokyo. The first lap was all about control in chaos. The U.S. took the early lead as Vernon Norwood blasted a 44.6 split, establishing clear intent from lane 5. Botswana's Leongo Scotch, 45.16, stayed composed, keeping them in striking distance. South Africa's Gardeo Isaacs, 45.02, ran a smooth opener to hand over in second, while Belgium and Qatar held their form behind. Then came the spark Letsile Tebogo, the 200 meters world medalist and 100 meters finalist who'd faced heartbreak earlier in Tokyo, took the baton and went to work. Flying down the back straight, Tebogo delivered an astonishing 44.05 split, wiping out the U.S. lead and putting Botswana neck and neck. The American Jakery Patterson ran strongly with 44.22, but Tebogo's raw speed was unmatched. South Africa's Lythe Pillay, 45.62, kept his team in the medal picture, though the leaders were pulling away fast. The third leg was all fire and experience. South Africa unleashed Wayde van Niekerk, and the 400 meters world record holder showed why he's still one of the best to ever do it, splitting a blistering 43.26, the fastest of the race, to catapult his team into medal contention. Bayapo Ndori ran a smooth 44.41 for Botswana to keep them in the fight, while the U.S. stayed steady through Chris Bailey's 44.61. At the final exchange, three teams, Botswana, the USA, and South Africa, were shoulder to shoulder. The crowd roared. It was all down to the anchors. The final lap was pure drama. Rai Benjamin, the 400 meters hurdles champion, stormed through the curve with a 2-meter lead, clocking 44.4 pace early. South Africa's Zakithi Nene gave chase with 43.93, looking to strike late. But then out of the rain and through the gap came Colin Kebenatchipi. Smooth, fearless, and perfectly timed, he surged between Benjamin and Nene, closing in 44.14 to snatch victory by fractions of a second. As Botswana crossed the line in 2:57.76, Benjamin and Nene shared 2:57.83, with silver going to the U.S. by 0.02 of a second. At the line, Botswana shocked the world, taking gold in 2:57.76, their first ever global relay title. The United States and South Africa shared the same time of 2:57.83, with the Americans edging silver by mere thousandths. It was one of the tightest finishes in World Championship history. Letsile Tebogo's 44.05-second leg, Van Niekerk's 43.26, and Kebenatchipi's clutch anchor made this final an instant classic. The U.S. fought back with Benjamin's brilliance, but Botswana's balance and belief carried them to destiny. This was more than a victory, it was a statement. Botswana's golden generation delivered on their promise, dancing through puddles as rain turned to glory. What a finish! Do you think Botswana's win was the biggest upset of the Tokyo World Championships? Could the U.S. have held on with a cleaner first exchange? And how good can this young Botswana team become by 2027? Share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more epic race breakdowns, World Championship highlights, and sprint analysis. Because moments like this, rain, rhythm, and redemption, are what make athletics unforgettable.